Does that sound good? I think it sounds good. All right, so I'm going to be filling in for my dad tonight. It's pretty hard on his hip to preach. It bothers his hip and his back to stand up here. So he asked me if I would do it, and I said no at first, actually. But then I thought about it after a little while, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this, Dad. And yeah, so we're going to be turning to Luke 19. We're going to be starting in verse 12. While you're turning there, for those who don't know, the last couple days there's been a snake up in the gym. Actually, that's not a lie. There's been a black snake up in the gym. I absolutely hate snakes. One of the worst things in the world. Probably number three on my list. Number two is the Pirates bullpen, and number one is Grant Dignan's blonde mustache. So that's what I got on that. But the title of my message tonight is Occupy Till I Come. Let's read Luke 19, verse 12. Luke 19, verse 12. He said, therefore, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. Just like the nobleman, Christ is coming back to his kingdom. This is a parable. This is basically all about just a nobleman and his kingdom. And we're going to get to talk about this verse by verse, and we're going to dissect it. I inherited a lot of things from my father, but one I did not get was being long winded while I preach. So it's not going to be too long, but we're just going to go ahead and run through it. Luke 19:13 now. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, Occupy till I come. I want you to focus on the last four words of that verse, if you would. Occupy till I come. God has commanded us and entrusted us to serve and honor him till he comes back. He's going to be coming back for us one day. And until he does that, we need to be witnessing to others, telling others about Christ and what all he has done for us, and basically trying to be the best Christians we can possibly be. Now let's read verse 14. Like I said, we're just going to keep moving down here and seeing what we can get from these verses. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him, saying, We will not have this man to reign over us. Just like in the world we have today, we have so many people who say they don't believe in God. So many people who are saying that I don't like God. They're mocking him, making fun of him. We have so many people like that. Even when I played in Little League, which Little League was one of my favorite things I've ever done. I'm glad I did it. But there was one person on my team who was a Christian. Me and him were the Christians on the team, the outspoken ones, that is. And we had a couple guys on our team who would make fun of us because we were Christians and we were outspoken about us, saying basically, I don't believe in God, things like that. But we got to stand fast as Christians. We're going to deal with these things. The world is not a good place. We're going to deal with these things, but we just got to battle through them and know that God is on our side. Now let's read verses 15 through 19. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, Well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise to him, Be thou also over 5 cities. So pretty much what this is that the king in this kingdom, he gave his servants five what was it, five a piece of, let me see, five a piece of whatever it was, we'll just say stuff, a piece of stuff, and they went and traded it. Their job was to trade it for and see how many pounds they could get. The first servant was able to get 10 pounds with the very little that he was given, and he was called a good servant. Just like us as Christians, we want to be called a good servant. So we want to be able to go and accomplish things for the Lord so he can bless us and call us as a good servant. But the second one, he still was rewarded with 5 pounds. He was rewarded with 5 pounds, but he did not get called a good servant. Notice that he did not get called a good servant. We know we will be judged according to our service for Christ. So we need to be able to basically serve him the way we can, once again, by being the best Christians we can possibly be. And if we do that, God will be able to call us his good servant. Now I'm going to read the last verses, Luke 19:20 through 26. So we're just going to keep going down here, verses 20 through 26. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. And he saith unto him, Out of thine own mouth will I judge thee. thou wicked servant. Thou knowest that I was an austere man. So let me pause right there between, just in case you don't know what austere is necessarily in this, the way we're being presented it here, is that austere is strict and even very strict, and that is according to Oxford Dictionary. So if you have a problem with that definition, go see them. And I got that on Google, so just by the way. So austere. So let's continue to read those verses. I'm going to restart now that we know what austere means, 20 through 26. And another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up thou that layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. And he saith unto him, Out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required mine own with usury? And he said unto them that stood, Take him from him the pound, and give it to him that hath 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. For I say unto you that unto every one which hath shall be given, and from him that hath not, even that he hath, shall be taken away from him. Let's also read verse 27 here. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither, and slay them before me. God will punish and correct his servants that are not living righteously. It's what we need to notice from this. This man was slain, actually. He was not obeying God, and he was slayed for that. So basically, what we need to do is none of us, I don't think, like being punished. I don't know a single person that likes being punished. So if we're going to prevent that, why don't we just make the easy choice and live for God? It's never easy to do. We're faced with so many things in this world. All of us, myself included, we're dealing with a daily battle of sin, and we're also dealing with many things that are going to give us a hard time, and the devil is always on the attack against us. So why not be close to God so we can help prevent that? Last thing here is, and like I said, not going to be very long, but I just wanted to provide you with a few thoughts that hopefully can help you out. And if I just bless one person with what God has given me, that'd be all worth it for me. But um, God will bless and reward his servants that are living for him. God will bless and reward his servants that are living for him. Why don't we just make the easy choice today and live for God and receive the blessings that he's going to be giving us? God is so good to do that. God has done so many things in my life. I remember when my sister, Kim and Cody, whenever they left after living here for a few years, how hard that was for me. But God really got me through that. And that was honestly probably one of the hardest times of my life. Whenever they left, I was getting used to them living here with me finally, and I really started to enjoy them. And it hurt when they left, but God is so good to get us through everything like that. He's so merciful, so gracious to every single one of us. And sometimes we truly take that for granted. A lot of times, myself included, I complain about a lot, and I complain about a lot. And instead of complaining whenever I watch the Pirates lose every day, maybe I should instead be thankful that I have the eyes to watch the Pirates play, which sometimes I wish I didn't. But we need to be thankful for what God has given us. He's given us so much. And truly, that's just what I really want to get to today, is that we just are given so much by God, and we really need to live for him and make him proud of us so we can have those riches whenever we get to heaven. So I'm going to end with this right here. And this is a rhetorical question, which rhetorical means you don't answer it. It's just, you know. My rhetorical question is, how are we occupying the earth today? He's coming, and he's coming soon. And whenever he gets here, we all want to be, basically, we want to be living for him so he can say, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thank you. I guess I'll just keep it rolling here. Let's bow in prayer. And I guess Ms. Kruger, please come up at this time. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you so much for this time that I have to come, Lord, and thank you for giving me, helping me to speak clearly and get forth the words that I wanted to say to these great people here, Lord. I pray that you just bless them, Lord. I pray that you'd help them in their everyday lives as well. I pray that you just bless all of us. As the piano plays tonight, Lord, I pray that you just help all of us to just be better Christians for you, and that we could continue to live just a life that you'd want us to live, Lord. You're just so good with everything that you give us, Lord, and so merciful and so gracious. Amen.